Hi folks, Fixrovia Q&A time. What's the simplest way to deliver complex projects? We've had a lot of experience working with different size companies, and one of the biggest gaps that we found is that you have, let's say that you've got an example like an office move or something like that, where it's a fairly complicated project. It's not something that's very easy to manage out of your head. There are a number of different teams or people involved. Everybody needs to understand exactly what's going on. You need to establish right up front all of the important deliverables, i.e. the things that you need to achieve. You need to make sure that they're all being done in the right order, by the right people, and that you're tracking the progress of that. Now, it's almost like you've got a swimming pool which has got a very, very shallow end and a very, very deep end and just a massive drop. So it doesn't get, kind of like more and more complex as it goes on. You've either got people trying to manage everything off A4 ring-bound pads, or you've got project management systems like Prince2 and kind of Agile and all the rest of it. And there's never seemed to be anything in the middle which allows us to kind of get mid-sized projects done. And there's also doesn't seem to be a lot that's out there which is designed for people who are not project managers, who are kind of like line managers or operational people or senior players, who needs to orchestrate a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, but in such a way that it's very, very easy for people to understand what it is they need to do and to kind of use all of the project management tools that we've got. So what we did was we've basically, over the last 20 years, we've basically come up with a way of managing projects which takes you through all of the key stages. Now the key stages, basically you've got your kickoff, which is where you basically sit down and you say, right, this is what the project needs to achieve. From that, you've then basically got a project scope document. Which just lists your high-level deliverables. It says, right, so when this project is done, it will basically have this stuff in place. So if it's an office move, right, we need to have the new premises, they need to be identified, they need to be made ready, we need to have all this stuff, it needs to be shut down, it needs to be boxed up, it needs to be shipped over, it needs to be set up. So all of this stuff will then basically come out of that. And what we do is, the way that projects normally fall over is when we missed something. Yeah? And it's when we had different understandings between different people of what the project was designed to achieve. And so what we do is we work at a high resolution and then say, right, these are all the key deliverables, and then we kind of start to drill those down. It's basically, it comes down to what done looks like, so that's what we define first of all, and then we define what doing looks like. Okay, so we have our kickoff session, we then basically have something called the discovery session, whereby we just sit down and we say, okay, so what does all of this look like? So this is, the kickoff section is where I say, right, this is what we're looking to do, plan to move on the office, so we need to have all of this stuff done. So we need to find a new office, we need to move all of our stuff over there, we need to make sure that everyone is aware of that, we need to sort out parking, yada yada yada. So you basically got say a bunch of stuff that comes out of that. The discovery section is when we then start to look at those in greater depth. We then basically go through and we have the planning session. So once everybody's agreed, the discovery session then gives us like a fully fledged scope document where everything that done looks like is nailed in there. And the important point about this is that everybody on the project gets to agree on exactly what we're going to deliver. Like I say, with a lot of projects, it's done a little bit more, half-hearted. There's a lot of assuming going on. There's a lot of things buried in emails or memos or other bits and pieces flying around. Whereas what you've got here is a couple of very, very simple documents. Your project scope is a Word document. Yeah, your what we call a work breakdown schedule, which again it sounds horribly complicated. It's not. It's just literally a nice Excel spreadsheet of who's doing what and by when. But there's a lot of finesse which we can get in there because we tend to use for this Google Drive. So we've got our documents up here. We've got our Excel spreadsheet which basically says everything that people need to do. The whole point about it is we have used this to manage all sorts of projects. We've used it to manage, kind of edge of space exploration. We've used it to manage charity missions to the desert, national business summits, charity concerts, website builds, e-commerce solutions, kind of business startups. So it doesn't really matter what it is that your project is about. It always passes through these sorts of phases. Kick-off, what are we we doing? Discovery. Let's make sure that we've got a good understanding of what done looks like. Planning. Right, so what does doing look like? Who needs to do what? Okay, we then basically move into execution, where we manage everybody doing this. And the great thing about it is we've developed, over the last 20 years, a series of very, very simple tools that everybody can understand straight off the bat, that you can share with everybody, that you need to, regardless of where they are on the planet. You have a single point of information and everybody gets it. And then, for instance, within the work breakdown schedule, you can then link it out so that you've got a little document attached to that particular bit where it says, right, you need to sort out the parking, and then you can attach, right, so Bob needs parking, Stella needs parking, yada yada yada. So it provides a single source of information. It's free, it's really easy to use, and it's very, very easy to manage. Okay, so you've then got your execution, you've got your management stages in terms of your tracking and assessment stages, whereby you're making sure that all of the targets that we've set, so for instance we've used this recently to manage a major summit in South Africa where we had Sir Richard Branson, Steve Wozniak, people like that attending. So for instance we then, with the work breakdown schedule, would have ticket sales. Okay, so we can not only manage is it done yes or no, we can also manage to what extent has that been done. We've got all of our targets on there so that we can make sure that everyone is on track. But the great thing about it is, like I say, when we did this we had about 100 people involved in the project. They were literally scattered across all sorts of continents, but everybody had a good understanding of exactly what they needed to do and how progress was going in different parts. Normally that's a nightmare to manage because it happens all over content creation with emails and memos and bits and pieces of paper flying backwards and forwards and stuff that's shoved under someone's desk. This is a really simple way of achieving all of that, getting clarity, and basically making sure that when you come to the final delivery, that everything is done. Yes, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that, Okay. If you would like to see what that looks like in practice, we have a guide on the system. It's how to simply manage and deliver complex projects. It has all of the templates which you can use straight away in Google Docs format. You can share them with whoever you want, and literally it's a project management system that you will be able to learn and implement in about an hour. Okay, so if that sounds like something which would be of use to you, click on the guide below. Like I said, it's battle tested, it's proven, it works. Okay, it's saved our bacon on many, many occasions. I hope it will do the same for you. If you have any questions or any problems, give us an email at support@fixrovia.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.